As young entrepreneurs, we all want to create that next Facebook. We want to do something that nobody's ever done before, especially in the real estate world. There's so many people that try to create what a Zillow has done, just in every world. But a lot of the times you don't need to recreate. You need to go find something that is already in demand, that is already proven to work, and then you put your 10% sauce on it. And you know what? The thing that they don't tell you when it comes to your 10% sauce, a lot of the time, that 10% is solely you. Yo, good day, family. So I wanted to share two things with you guys today. Number one is peace. Now, I say every single day, you gotta find something that brings you peace. Now, for me, when I walk in the mornings, that's the thing that brings me peace. Why? It's because the kids are gone, especially when I get to catch some rays, when I get to smell nature. Football season is always obviously the best time because the grass is growing. It just feels like it's turning over another season. It's a season that's not too hot, not too cold. Fall season is absolutely amazing for me. But for you, that might be running, that might be reading, that might be going to the gym, that might be taking your kids on vacation. Ideally, you want to find something that you could do on a daily basis, right? So this might be journaling. It could be a lot of different things, but you need to find something that brings you peace. Now, second thing is perspective. And this kind of came from a conversation I was just having with one of my brothers this morning. And he had told me about Jay-Z. And Jay-Z basically did an interview. And he said, you know, for the last 365 days, I could tell you every single thing that I did. I could tell you who I tried to get out of jail. I could tell you, who I did lunch with. I could tell you all of these different, things. I could tell you basically I had my time mapped out. So it's all about living in your purpose, and it's all about being organized with your most valuable asset, which is your time. And I was like, man, okay, I love that. And I'm a huge Hov fan, right? But then at the same time, those types of things right there could have you down and feeling out. And so why do I say that? Is because a lot of the times, if we don't have perspective, like what I would want to ask if I got Hov, on an interview and he said that to me, I would want to know, was that pre-30 Jay-Z, right, that he was able to build? So if I got Hov on an interview, my follow-up questions would be on that to perspective. So what am I talking about with that? Well, when we ask about perspective, what I want to know is, now, obviously, it's a lot easier to do that, right? You're a billionaire. You got a lot of people that work for you. You got a lot of leverage. You got a lot of assets, right? Most likely don't have a lot of debt. At least it doesn't look like the life that he lives. He acquires a lot of debt right now. So he's invested in a lot of things. With that, you obviously have financial, you have spiritual, and you have time freedom, right? But pre-35 even, definitely pre-30, was that how his life was, right? Because for somebody else that's hearing that and they are 30 years old, not saying that you don't want to look at what was the roots. So what do I mean by what was the roots? It means, what did it take to get there? You want to reverse engineer. I think one of the best things that I've always done is I've been able to reverse engineer success from other people. Now, it doesn't mean that it's easy, but it does show how it can be proven. Right? So I think that that's a big thing, is like whenever you see somebody, you don't want to reinvent the wheel. And I think too often, especially as young entrepreneurs, we all want to create that next, do something that nobody's ever done before, especially in the real estate world. There's so many people that try to create what a Zillow has done, just in every world. But a lot of the times you don't need to recreate. You need to go find something that is already in demand, that is already proven to work, and then you put your 10% sauce on it. And you know what? The thing that they don't tell you when it comes to your 10% sauce, a lot of the time, that 10% is solely you. It's what you bring to the table, right? Which sounds so crazy, but it's solely what you bring to the table. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean that when you're getting on sales calls, when you're hiring your team, all of these different things, you're going to be the person that they choose to invest in. It's not gonna be the business. It's not gonna be the product, right? And so that's the other thing that I would always encourage somebody to look at, is to look at what makes you different. That you might be that you willing to get up at 5 a.m. when everybody else is sleeping until 7. right? That you might be that you're willing to go to a conference when everybody else says, oh man, that's so far away, you're gonna leave your family. That you might be that you are in the military. You were in the military. So, you know, that's what keeps you so disciplined. That you might be that you went through so much adversity that you have a bulletproof mindset that it's very hard to get anyone to make you waver on who you are. And what's funny is I'm gonna try out this indie filter, but I like talking to this thing too. It feels like I'm talking to someone. It's so crazy, but yeah, so I think for me, when I'm looking at anything, when I'm looking at how do I start a business, how do I do this, like I'm always looking at what makes me different. And a lot of the times the secret sauce is just me being me. And so I would say to you, whoever, you know, you are, look at what are the things that you've already went through in life that you would say, man, 20 people couldn't do this. 100 people couldn't do this. 500 people damn sure ain't doing this. That's what's gonna make you different. That's what makes you have that secret sauce. So when everybody's talking about, I do lead generation, when everybody's talking about, I'm a speaker, when everybody's talking about, I'm a podcaster, okay, well, what makes yours different? Well, I've been through, my case, stage 4 cancer. Okay, I was 2 weeks away from death. Okay, I lost my mom, my job, my home, all within a matter of 2.5 weeks. Okay, I have 2 7-figure businesses, right? And that's on paper. Right? I own commercial real estate. Right? All of these different things, when you stack them up, it gives you your resume. That's your resume. That's what makes you different. That's what gives you your secret sauce. You could say, oh, I have 4 kids. Okay, so if you're doing anything around the parenting niche, right, then people are gonna understand, okay, well, that person must know what they're doing. 4 kids, all went to college. Right, 4 kids all graduated from, you know, Ivy League. 4 kids all started their own business when you didn't come from entrepreneurship. All of those things is what make you who you are. So that's the thing that I want to make sure that you guys always understand is, one, you got to find something every single day that brings you peace. And the second thing is, you have to always have perspective. Everybody's life's different, but your life is unique and great just the way that it is, but you gotta believe that. Because if you don't believe it, nobody will. If you walk into that office, whoever it is, it could be an investor, it could be, you know, your own office every single day, and you can't look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm him, I'm her, nobody else is gonna believe it. And if they do believe it, you gotta hold on to that person. Why? Is because that means that person is on your team, right? Not only do they believe you, but they believe in you. And a lot of the times that comes with just looking at who's already been a part of your inner circle for many years. That could be your wife, your husband, that could be your mom, that could be your grandma. Who's already willing to bet everything on you if they hit the lottery tomorrow? Who, if they hit the lottery tomorrow, and they got $100 million and you said, let me get 1 million, I want to turn this dream into a reality, who's gonna say, absolutely? Don't ask twice. Because who that person is, they're already on your side. They're already one of your biggest fans. And sometimes it just takes, if you can't find your own belief, you gotta borrow their belief, the belief that they have in you. I think that that's a big thing that we don't talk about enough. We don't talk about borrowing somebody else's faith and belief until we can build up our own. Because our resume is already strong. We just gotta believe it. Remember, you've already survived 100% of your darkest days, right? Of your worst days, of the days you said, I don't know how I'm gonna, right? Regardless if it was a bankruptcy, regardless if it was a missed 90-day late payment, regardless if it was, you know, being told no on a house that you thought that you needed, regardless if it was being evicted, regardless if it was cancer and you had to go through chemo, regardless if it was a hangover, it does not matter. You've already survived 100% of your worst days, right? So it's not that you can't do it. And the great ones, it's not that they can't do it neither, because they obviously they do it. Steph, he's done it. But what makes him great? He does it over and over and over and over again, right? So that's what you got to ask yourself. What am I willing to show up for? Over and over and over and over. I feel like Marshawn Lynch. Have you guys ever seen that video? Anybody who's familiar with Marshawn Lynch? Skittles, they call him. But he did it over and over and over and over and over and over. And that was what made him beast mode. So for you, ask yourself, what am I willing to do over and over and over again? And that helps you to give this, or that helps you to get the perspective. of I'm already great. I'm already blessed, as unique as I am, because nobody else has my talents. It's all I got today. Remember, there's 2 P's. There's peace. Find something every single day that brings you joy, that brings you peace. And it's perspective. Understand that everybody's journey looks different, but every single thing that happens to you on your journey should give you different perspective on how unique, how blessed, how favored you are. One of the things that people always ask me, how you doing? I say I'm blessed and I'm highly favored. Because even through all of the stuff that I go through, right, and I tell you, for a lot of people from the outside looking in, it looks like we got it all made, but everybody goes through something. And through all of the stuff that I go through, I'm gonna keep this PG. I still know that I'm blessed and I'm highly favored. One, because I woke up this morning. Many of people don't. We see it every single day. If you don't believe it, go to TMZ. You'll find somebody that went through something, right? But 2, I'm highly favored because I still get an opportunity to come on here, inspire, empower, try to educate somebody on something that I wish that I would have known when I was younger. So that's all for this one. I try to keep these things short. It's a little bit longer, but hopefully, you can find something. Write it down today. What's 3 things that bring you peace, right? And if you could only do one of those 3 things for the rest of your life, what would it be? That's what I would encourage you to do, right? So write 3, and if it's more things that bring you peace, write down 10. And if you could only do 2 of them for the rest of your life, circle the 2 that you would do. Make sure you do one of those 2 things every single day, right? So that's all for this one, Dream Builder. Remember, the dream we trust. We all got a dream. I know you do. But you got to act on that dream today. Why? Because if you don't, that dream that you have, and we all got one, it'll only be a fantasy without any work or any action. Catch you on the next one.